welcome to Wellington. Thank you. And so a year ago, right? A year ago.
Yeah, hard. I did. So it was right after the new year, was my New Year's resolution to myself that I needed a change riding. I just wasn't consistently performing at the level I knew that I could. So I needed something different, and I knew that it was the mental piece component to riding that I just was really lacking in.
But same trainer, same horse or something. What was that situation?
Yeah, so I've been with the same trainer now for about 10 years, Laura Beth Strong, and it's been great working with her. The horse situation, I've kind of been floating around horse to horse, so it really didn't have one of my own until last year, basically around the same time. It was my birthday present to myself last year. I had just bought a 5-year-old, so we were kind of waiting on him, but luckily there were other horses that I was able to ride in that time. And last year was a really good year.
Well, I mean, let's start with the ending. Okay, so you did my boot camp, and then you were at coaching month to month because you had some very serious goals.
Yep.
And very serious goals were you wanted to get to the national. You didn't want to just get to the national.
I wanted to win nationals. So in the adult equitation, I was ended up being champion in the age group adult S. We won both of our over fence classes. So yeah, it was a really good year. Really good year.
Excellent, and congratulations to you for that. But we had to do the Hamptons, do the Capital Challenge. We had to just keep moving on and moving on, and it was pretty much all up once. Maybe a couple of tweaks here and there, right? Tell me about that.
It was, yeah. So really, generally speaking, my season this past year was just night and day. There were a couple bumps in the road, certainly, but I felt like even those bumps in the road, they weren't complete derailments. And normally that's pretty much what would have happened is I would have gone down the rabbit hole in the spiral and not really been able to bounce back. It would have been really, really hard. So the fact that those little bumps in the road just were bumps, and it was really just a banner year all around. I can't complain.
And so what would you say about the boot camp? It was hard. It was like he thought it was going to be. It was a shit show.
Well, so I wouldn't say a complete shit show, but no, for me, it was hard. Because you have to be very honest with yourself and take a hard look. And like we talked about a lot, right, is that extreme accountability and being able to have that honest look of who you are in the mirror. And, that's really the only way you're going to be able to move forward and fix things is if you're honest about it. And so that, to have you and to have that accountability was really, once all that kind of came together, the momentum really just took off.
I mean, step one is you really kind of have to know yourself, right? You have to, like you said, you have to know what you're doing to trip yourself up and, your BS stories and, wanting to run out the back door. All of that stuff.
It kind of, when we were talking about, who is your rider identity when you first kind of start. And that was really eye-opening for me, was to take a look at really who that was. And I knew that's not who I wanted to be. I don't think of myself as that person, but after our conversations, that's exactly kind of the pattern I was finding myself in.
Right. And so what about like, did it help you, my program, the mental skills like with work, where, well,
So, yeah, so that's the really wonderful thing about this program is did it help me riding? Absolutely. But did it cross over into my personal life, my business life, me as a mom and a wife and all of that? Like it was really life changing in those areas too. Um, particularly for me, it was like the flying changes that we talked about, like instantly doing those pattern interrupts that you find yourself slipping into in other areas of your life. But now they weren't as difficult to manage and navigate because if I could do it in the saddle and riding, I can certainly do it in those places too.
actually, is wonderful. So, what would you say to people that are just kind of like, well, I'm going to figure it out on my own? Because, I mean, you were at a very high level. So, I mean, when you could have said to yourself, well, I'll figure it out. What would you say to somebody like that?
I can speak to, for me personally, I need someone who I'm accountable to. And I'm also a person who needs almost like a checklist. And that's what you really gave me were the tools to have the checklist of like, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to be and how to manage these things. And, for anybody who's thinking about it, I say jump in with both feet because it's really been a game changer for me, for sure.
I mean, even though you were at a high level, but I mean, it wasn't consistent and it wasn't high level.
Correct. I knew it could be more. I knew that I wanted it bad enough. And I just needed that extra edge, I think. And this gave it to me in spades.
Yeah, because I mean, you're competing with the top riders in the convert.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. And everyone that's out there is a very intense competitor. And so to be able to kind of like prove to myself that, yeah, I do have a spot, like I am good enough to be here. Like it's very rewarding. Like it's nice to know that I wasn't off the mark.
What about, so for example, some people are born into, brand name, equestrian families, celebrities, Larry. A lot of people think, listen, if you're not there, it's never going to happen. Is that true?
No, not at all. It's not at all. No. I think you have to want it. And I think you have to tell yourself that you can have it. Was it easy getting here? Absolutely not. Especially, like I help run my family's business. I'm a mom. I have 2 young kids. I have a wonderful husband who deals with all of this crazy horse life and supports me through it. And I think you just really keep going until you have the right team around you, And, I think, Nancy, you were kind of like the missing piece to my puzzle because I had the support system, I had the drive and the right people in my corner who were, cheering me on and pushing me to get to where I wanted to go. So for that, I'm forever grateful. But the fact that I don't come from a riding family, I have to work hard for every dollar that I earn. And still, I wouldn't trade it for anything. You can definitely make it happen if you wanted that amount.
And even though you're working, and even though you have 2 kids, I mean, how old are your kids?
So my 2 boys, this is Max, he's 6, and my other son is 3. So they're young. They're out of work. It's a lot of work.
I mean, it's not like they're in college.
No, it is definitely not. And I'm so happy that this is something I get to share with them. They get to come on trips to the horses with mom, and the fact that they get to kind of be in this world with me and see mom doing really cool stuff is, I don't know, that there aren't enough words to really say how gratifying that is for them. So,
Well, I really appreciate. I mean, never met you.
it's so exciting to finally meet.
What are you even doing in Wellington? You're like normally New York, right?
So I live in New York full time. My family owns a bus transportation company, so all the schools are on winter breaks. So we decided to take a few days to come down here and play for a little bit and meet Nancy and my horses down here. So it was nice to be able to get on him and show him a little bit too.
Well, it was wonderful to see you, Claire.
Thank
You're
you.
gonna have another amazing year.
Yes, we are for sure.